Hello everyone, my name is Alberto and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I kind of wanted to show you how to change a pair of jeans broken zipper. In my case this happened, it's a pair of shorts. They're quite cheap but I wear them a lot and I just kind of wanted to fix them to get more use out of them. So as you will notice if you've never done it before, denim zippers are fixed in place quite effectively. There's a lot of seams and a lot of parts. So it's not the easiest process, especially if you're not used to sewing or you don't really know a lot about construction, but I'll try to make it as understandable as possible. First of all, we're going to detach the belt. We don't need to unstitch the whole thing, just basically until we reach the part where the flap underneath is, because that's what holds the zipper. So this is gonna be the same on both sides. I'm just gonna unstitch and unpick the whole bit. It takes quite a while because they use a pretty strong thread for denim. So it's pretty annoying, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. In my case, there's a couple stitches still holding it in place, but as you can see, the part where the zipper is actually free, and that's what I care about. So I'm not gonna completely detach it, just I'm gonna make sure that this part is free so I can work on it, because in the end I still have to put them back together. So the next thing is we're gonna unstitch these two seams which hold the flap in place, and when it's done you will see that now it's free to open and that the zipper is in fact stitched onto the flap and not to the external part of the jeans. So for the other side we will have to detach the whole thing, because here we only have one seam that holds all the layers and the zipper together. So I'm gonna unpick that seam, and then we have these two bars that secure the whole thing in place. So we'll have to unpick those as well. Once that's done, the zipper came off because it was held in place by that one seam, and I'm actually not gonna take it off completely for now, just because I'm gonna use it as a guide. You don't really have to, but it's just easier, I find, this way. So the zipper is sandwiched between these two layers, and here I have my new zipper. It's a bit longer than the older one, so what I did is I used the bottom one, the bottom of the zipper, as a guide. So I started pinning it in place just from there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch on it just to keep it in place, and that's what's gonna fix it. Now a quick word about thread. This is normal polyester thread in an industrial bobbin, used to sew basically anything. What is used for denim is a quick top stitching thread that it's very, very thick, and as you can see a little bit in the difference here, it's pretty easy to find, but if you have trouble you can definitely use a normal thread instead. You're not gonna notice too much except for the color, but you can use a colored thread and it's gonna work the same way. So here we're back on the zipper. I'm just gonna stitch it like that, and you'll notice when you're doing zippers sometimes you get stuck to a place where the cursor of the zipper is, and the easiest thing to do there is to lift the foot of the machine and open or close the zipper, just so it goes out of your way and you don't get a bump in the seam. And that's just the easiest way to get a straight seam with no complications. So I'm gonna use this thinner foot. This is just because it's gonna allow me to get much closer to the teeth of the zipper, to basically recreate the seam that they did originally on the jeans. Don't really have to, again, it's just for ease. And I'm gonna stitch down the zipper. And when I have the extra like that, because the zipper was longer, I'm just gonna leave it there and basically push it inside the belt. And here I'm gonna do the other side. So I close the zipper to match where the belt is, put a pin in it to mark it, and just started laying it down from there. And I'm gonna stitch it on the bottom part, which is the flap that you have inside of the jeans. And when I've done that, I am gonna top stitch the top part. So in my case, I did a double seam and not just a single seam, because with all the pieces like that, it's a bit easier, and it allows me to not completely take apart everything. But just stitch down that. Now a quick try just to make sure that the zipper works properly. There you go. And basically the left side is done. What we'll need to do is just to close the top. So now what we'll have to do is to recreate the two seams that keep the right side in place, talking about seeing it from the outside. I'm gonna just stitch on top, making sure that you don't stitch on the zipper, but right after it, the end of the zipper. And I slightly lift the foot and turn after a couple stitches. Every time when I have to do a curve, this just allows me to do better curve with no dents. And I'm gonna remove the flap from outside, because otherwise I ran the risk of sewing on top of it, which would close the pants shut. So here I'm gonna do the second seam, which is exactly the same as the first one, just spaced how far you want, really. It's just an aesthetic thing. So I'm just gonna run along the first one. Now the two flaps have been blocked at the bottom, so we'll need to recreate the bar where it ends. But I'm gonna do it later. First of all, I'm just gonna make sure everything is pushed in properly into the belt and close the belt with a simple straight stitch. Again, making sure to go really slowly when you cross over where the zipper teeth are, because otherwise you risk breaking your needle. And I'm gonna do the same on both sides. And here I'm gonna recreate the bar, which is where both flaps are locked together to make sure that they're quite strong and they last a long time. And that's it, really. So it's pretty easy to do once you know what you're doing. At first it's not the most easy thing, but this allowed me to give some more use out of these pants, and I just wanted to show you how it is. So thank you for watching. If you have any question or comment, please leave them in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't, and put a like on the video, because that's great help. And I'll see you next time. Bye!